Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, making a series of videos on motorcycle speakers, and I'm pretty excited about this one. This is a brand new product that I wanted to be one of the first to tell you about. So we've been having a great year. Soundstream Reserve has come out with a phenomenal head unit that has really improved the sound of a lot of motorcycles. Adding Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, very similar to the GTS factory radio, yet very easy plug-and-play installation. And I'm sure a lot of you watching have already bought this radio. So after seeing the quality of this and how much time and effort has went into it, we were pretty excited to see the new products that Soundstream was going to come out with. Now, Soundstream's sister company, and actually the pinnacle of their brand, is Precision Power. That is the best that they have to offer, and Precision Power has came out with a full line of premium motorcycle speakers. I want to unbox each one of these, go over the specs with you, and show you more about them. Now that you know who the company is, we're going to bring the speakers over and get them open. We're going to start with the 5x7. Let's start unboxing it. I'm going to move some things out of the way to make a little bit more room. Our 5x7 premium motorcycle speaker. This is part number MAS572. This is only going to be available in a 2 ohm impedance, and this is a direct drop-in replacement into a boom stage 2 style lid or any of those factory CVO boom lids that held the 5x7 inch speaker. Let's open it up and see what we get in our package. Very awesome looking speaker here. And there's some really neat technology I want to tell you about. It's pretty exciting. So nothing else is in here. So we had our owner's manual, we have our speakers, and we have some mounting hardware. Not a lot needed when it's a direct drop-in speaker like this. Let's get each one of these unwrapped. Now, if you know anything about those particular lids, they don't have much mounting depth at all. And there's actually a factory shell that encases the back of the speaker. Now, if you have a boom stage 2 system, this is not going to go right in because this only has one set of speaker connections, and your factory boom stage 2 speakers have 2 sets of connections. The beauty is you're constantly blowing speakers and blowing amps in those bikes, and we're always upgrading them to better amplifiers and better speakers, and now we have a very cost-effective direct drop-in without the need for very expensive adapters or purchasing new lids. And I'm super excited to see the side-by-side comparison on this versus some of the other speakers that we're going to do in a later video. We're going to have a full speaker competition coming up soon where we go through each one of them in our sound wall and do an apples-to-apples comparison between each brand and each product offering. So the technology on this speaker is unlike anything we've seen before, and they've done this in 2 different speakers. There's a 6x9 that's going to be very similar. I'm going to open up and show you in a minute. One of the problems that was seen with the Rockford Fosgate kits that use the same style speaker is that it generated a lot of heat from the neodymium magnet on the back of the speaker. Now this is interesting. There's no magnet on the back of the speaker. So I talked to the VP at Soundstream Precision Power. He said he went to his engineers and he told them, I need a speaker with no magnet because Rockford Fosgate was having an issue that the magnet would generate enough heat. The rear section would get so hot in that sealed lid that it could get hot enough that it would actually damage like a leather jacket or whatever you had in the bag under it. Never really set anything on fire, but it definitely left enough marks that people weren't happy with it. You're in a sealed environment, the lid's closed, no air is moving, we're riding a very long ways at very high volumes, and it generates a lot of heat. So what's the solution? Get rid of the magnet. But speakers don't work without magnets. So they had a very ingenious idea, and they moved the neodymium magnet to the pole piece for the tweeter. They actually put an aluminum heat sink around the outside of the tweeter to carry that heat away. And you'll see in the images we're showing that with a FLIR infrared camera, that heat is moved to the outside of the speaker where the air is traveling by and pulling that heat away. This is going to allow you to get a lot longer life out of your speaker. No risk of damaging anything that's in the bag if you're the type that fills your bag all the way up with belongings. Very, very cool. Patented technology, only available from Precision Power, and this is definitely a purpose-built Harley speaker. This isn't a boat speaker or car speaker that's been repurposed. This was built new from the ground up. So let's go over the specs on it and how it's built beyond this amazing technology on this new inverted tweeter. So we have a polypropylene cone. That cone is going to be completely water resistant, waterproof. We're not going to have to worry about weather at all. It's got a Soundstream surround that's also going to hold up well with UV, with heat. We're not going to have to worry about that failing. We have a 1-inch titanium dome tweeter. That's a hard dome tweeter. It's going to have very bright, crisp highs. Now, this speaker is not necessarily a loudspeaker. This is a full range, very full sounding speaker. This is for the guy that doesn't want to have to add a subwoofer to have good bass. It does have the heat sink, like I just told you about, around the tweeter, and they call this an external inverted neodymium magnet. Because it's neodymium, it's very lightweight, but yet super strong. So this 5x7 can handle 100 watts of RMS power and 200 watts peak power. The efficiency is very high because of that neo magnet as well. So it does 92 decibel off 1 watt of power. Now, in our side-by-side comparison video, we'll see what it does at low power as well as how well it holds together at high power. They're giving us a frequency response range that seems very realistic at 60 hertz, which is the top of our subwoofer range, all the way to 22 kilohertz. That's the very top of what we're able to hear. Again, the 5x7 is only going to be available in a 2-ohm configuration because it is designed to go on a 4-speaker system. You're not going to add a set of tour packs and a set of these in the lids. You're only going to do the lids, which is going to give you the most power out of either your new Soundstream Reserve head unit is going to go to it with a 2-ohm load, or if you're doing an amplifier, you're going to get the maximum amount of that amplifier still running in stereo with a 2-ohm impedance. So excited about this technology. Awesome speaker. Definitely hats off to Precision Power for building something and answering a problem that a lot of people had experienced in their bags. We'll get these packed back up. We're going to pull out the 6x9s and see how they compare. All right, so I got our 5x7s packaged back up, and let's move on to our next speaker. This is the MAS 692. This is a 6x9 premium motorcycle speaker, also by Precision Power. Let's open it up and check out its specs. Let's see what we get in our package. So we get our warranty registration card in here. We also get our 2 speakers. Let's get those out. And some mounting hardware. Very nice packaging, very well protected. All right, so let's open this up. So I really like this design with moving the magnet for several reasons. First off, the heat issue is amazing because you can expect a much longer life by getting the heat that's being created by all this power we're sending to these speakers moved out of the bag. But at the same time, we have this awesome flat rear of our speaker that's going to give us more room to carry more things in our side bag. So the design's pretty awesome. So this 6x9 also has a polypropylene cone, has a Soundstream surround, and a 1-inch titanium dome tweeter. Now, just like we saw on the 5x7, because this is meant to be lid mounted, they moved the neodymium magnet from the rear of the speaker to being an external inverted neodymium magnet. It's actually around the pole piece of the tweeter. So it's in the center of the speaker where a magnet really needs to be for that voice coil to travel through. But they moved all that heat, as you see in the images from our FLIR infrared camera, to the outside of the bag. So now it's out here where our grill is, where wind's blowing over, where the heat can be carried away, and they put this nice heat sink around the tweeter to make sure and carry that all the way to the top where it can be cooled properly. The frame on this speaker, as well as the 5x7 speaker, are a fiberglass ABS reinforced structure. It's very, very impact resistant, so we're not going to have to worry about cracking it or breaking it. It has an 1.25 inch voice coil, and on our 6x9, it is 100 watts RMS and 200 watts peak power. So basically the same power handling as the 5x7 we just looked at. It also has the same efficiency rating of 92 decibel at 1 watt. This is available in 2-ohm or 4-ohm, so you can do it either way, and it plays 60 hertz all the way up to 22 kilohertz. So another full range loud speaker. It is not a loudspeaker per se, but it's going to be very loud and play very full sound. Again, I'm excited to get this in our display wall along with some other brands of 6x9s that we carry and give you that comparison as to what frequencies it plays at both mid volume and loud volume, how it holds up to that abuse, and how clear it is at its peak performance. Now, one other thing with this speaker that we don't have offered in the 5x7 is we now have two, and we're going to open these up here shortly, two separate cut kits offered from Precision Power. So you can buy this speaker to go in an existing lid, and they're not going to make you buy the cut kit. But you got a custom painted bike, you want to add 6x9s to your lids without buying new ones, purchase these cut kits that are sold separate. We've got a 98 to 13 and a 14 and newer kit. It's going to come with everything you need, the templates, the grills, everything we need to cut and modify that lid to hold this speaker perfectly. It's designed just for this 6x9. So again, awesome technology, patented, Precision Power. This is the pinnacle of the brand, and it will go great with your new Soundstream Reserve head unit. I'm going to get this packaged back up. We're going to move on to our front fairing speakers and show you what you get in that. All right, so we took our MAS 692s and we've reboxed those. Moving on, I want to show you a kit that is offered. Now, the 6.5-inch speaker in this is an MAS 652 or 654. It's available in 2 ohm or 4 ohm, and you can buy the 6.5 by itself, but I think this kit's pretty awesome. So inside of this kit, I'm going to open it up and show you all of it. It's actually going to come with all the grills that would be necessary as well. It's available in a 14 or newer kit, which we're opening up now, and a 13 and older kit that comes with the older Street Glide and Road Glide grills. So let's get this open and get all of our parts out. All right, so we have our manual. Now, all of the manuals are available for download at motorcycleaudio.com. 6.5s are going to come with our larger grill for our tour pack or our lowers. Very well packaged and secured in here, so we don't have to worry about them getting damaged in shipping. Let's get our speaker out. Now, it's some really cool technology with this speaker that we haven't seen with any other ones either, and we're going to go over that with you here in just a minute. So hang out as we get these open so I can go over that with you. Nice packaging. You know somebody really cares about the product when they take the time to make sure that it arrives to you undamaged and properly packed. So in this box, I'm opening, we're going to have our front grills for our Street Glide. Now, all of these are already going to have the logos on them for Precision Power, so nothing for you to do but just swap out the grill. We're also going to have our Road Glide grill. Very nice looking grill as well. Here's our other Road Glide grill. I'm going to leave it in the bag. And our other Street Glide grill as well. That's everything out of this box. Let's open up our next box and see what we have. I'm looking for something that we don't normally get with these speakers that I know is part of the development of the new Precision Power front fairing speakers. All right, this is what I was looking for. So a lot of guys are telling you you can't have good sound on a motorcycle unless you get a DSP. Well, the reason for that is you can set some filters. You can set your crossover frequency for your high and low pass with a DSP. You can also tune in and EQ it to sound better in whatever enclosure it's in. Precision Power has decided that they were going to take care of that without a DSP. That way you can put these speakers straight on your radio and get the best sound out of them. And something I think is really cool is this. This is a crossover. This is a tune, you would say, for your DSP, specifically for these speakers. So let's talk about the technology, and then I'll get into when we're going to use this and when we wouldn't use this. So we have the same style basket that we have on our 5x7 and our 6x9. This particular basket is a fiberglass ABS composite, very lightweight, but yet very strong. Our cone is a polypropylene cone, again with a Santoprene surround and a 1-inch titanium dome tweeter, that bright, crisp highs we're going to get from that hard dome tweeter. This does not have the same style magnet setup that our 5x7s and our 6x9 does. We don't have an issue with the heat in the fairing getting to anything in behind it. There's enough room in there, it's not an issue. But it does still use a very nice, robust neodymium magnet. Rare earth magnet, very, very strong, so you don't have to put as much magnet, which keeps it very light. So we're not going to hurt the handling of the motorcycle. Very, very nice. So our wattage on this, 75 watts RMS power. It is going to be available in 2 ohm or 4 ohm. So 75 watts RMS, 150 watts peak. If you're going to run a 4-speaker configuration, I would suggest getting the 2 ohm version. If you think later you're going to go to uppers and lowers, do the 4 ohm in the upper, 4 ohm in the lower. That's going to give you that 2 ohm impedance to get the most out of your amplifier. And you can still use a 4-channel amp to run your 6-speaker system or even an 8-speaker system if you stick with all 4 ohm speakers. This speaker will play from 60 hertz all the way up to 22 kilohertz. So that's the top of the sub range. This is going to be a really good full sounding speaker, really good mid bass, very bright highs. And I'm excited to put this in our side-by-side comparison in our last video of this series, where we're going to put these things through a whole bunch of tests, see how they compare to other brands, and give you a good idea of how it would sound on your bike. So let's get back to this. This is a crossover. It is a tune for this speaker. If you're going to put this in a sealed pod, like we see on a 14 and newer Harley, if that pod is still sealed, you haven't cut any holes in it, you're going to install this on the back of the speaker. It's simply going to plug into the speaker, plug into the bike. This is going to tune it for that sealed enclosure. When we do our side-by-side comparison, all our speakers will be in sealed enclosures and we'll have this plugged in. Now, let's say you're putting this in a 13 and older bike, or your 14 and newer bike, you've already cut holes in the pods. You've ported it. Well, when you open up that pod, you make it more efficient. You also make it where the mid-bass response is completely different and the tune needs to be different. So if you're going to have an open enclosure, you're going to leave this off. It's going to give you the best sound on your 98 to 13 or a pod that's been ported. So that is in here to make sure that we get the best sound. And definitely, this was built from the ground up for a motorcycle. Again, not a marine speaker, not a car or truck speaker. Built specifically for this with you and your bike in mind. I think this would be an excellent addition in a 2 ohm version for a new Soundstream head unit. Again, if you're doing a 4-speaker, if you add our amplifier, we got a plug and play amp kit for this as well with an amplifier. So the 2 ohm is going to get you the most power out of that amp. So I'm going to get this box back up. Again, road glide grill, street glide grills, and 6.5-inch grills for lowers or tour packs. So everything you would need. Most other companies are going to charge you $50 or more per pair of grills, and they're all going to come with it. So everything you need to do this install is in one package. We will offer this speaker without the grills as just a 6.5 if you don't need any of this as well at volunteeraudio.com. So let me get this box back up. We'll go through our cut kits. All right, so we've went through our 6.5-inch front fairing speakers. We got those packaged back up, our 5x7s and our 6x9s. Now I want to show you the cut kit that's available to install the 6x9s in your Harley. This is a pretty awesome setup. This particular one I'm opening now is for 1998 to 13. I believe it also works on your 1996 models and up as well. It's a little difference at the wiring at the radios, while a lot of people cut out at 98. Let's see what we're going to have in here. It's going to come with a hole saw or a bit to drill through the side bag. This is going to give you access for running wiring through. It's going to come with some zip ties and some mounting hardware. And then it's going to come with all the parts that we need. Our template. Let's open up this template and check it out. So we have our template that's going to lay over our bag. It's going to go right over your lid. It's going to fit perfect. Normally you tape off your lid first so you don't scratch the paint. Put this on it and you screw through these 2 holes, and now we have a template to cut through it. If you follow this pattern when you're cutting, your grill is going to fit perfectly. Very, very nice grill. Here's the grill that's going to go right where that was cut out. And then we have our bottom part that sandwiches together with our hardware. And you'll notice that there's a nice gasket all the way around this part. So once you've cut that hole, it goes in from the bottom. Nice gasket, a very thick, nice gasket on the top part. So when sandwiched together, we're going to have a very nice CVO style looking grill built into our our lid. So now instead of buying a new lid, having to have it custom painted, you can take your 98 to 13 Harley and add 6x9s. Now the bottom of this is purposely built just for the 6x9s here from Precision Power, but these are going to be available to be sold separately. So if you have an existing pair or another brand you want to do, these could be used with any brand. Maybe with some slight modifications, but a perfect fit when using the ones that come from Precision Power. So we're going to have the other side as well. So we're going to have our grill for the other side and our cut kit for the other side. Let's make sure we don't have anything else in here that we've missed or forgot. All right, so in the bottom I do have our directions. Now this is going to be available from volunteeraudio.com, and it's also going to be available by itself or also in a kit that comes with our quick disconnect harnessing for the bags and the backbone harness to run from your amplifier back to your lids. So both of those are something that's going to be necessary that we're going to offer in a package. It's an awesome kit. Comes with everything you need at a much better price point than buying another brand and throwing the speakers away. A lot of people are buying the Boss kits, using the cut kits, and having to throw the 6x9s away because they're not happy with them. We've got an excellent set of 6x9s to go with it that's going to work out at a great price if you buy that. But again, you can get the cut kit by itself at a lot lower cost than buying another set and throwing the speakers away for sure. First company to offer these by themselves. So I'm going to put this one back together. We're going to open up the 14 and newer and see what comes in its pack. All right, so we've packaged back up our 98 to 13 lids. I didn't give you the part number on those. Those were an HD13 dot or period SBS. Those are available on our website at volunteeraudio.com. But I want to show you the HD14 period SBS. So saddlebag speaker lids for a 14 or newer Harley Davidson. Currently this is going to work from 2014 to 2022. We don't know what the future holds, but it looks like Harley's not changing much on design, so it should work on future models as well. We're going to open it up and we're going to find our instructions. It's really a piece of paper that says go to motorcycleaudio.com and download the instructions. Also going to get our bit that we would later need to put our cables through the side of our bag. It's going to come with the hardware that's necessary to screw this together along with some zip ties for that wiring. Very, very well packaged. I don't think you're going to have to worry at all about having something show up with a dented grill or any problems. They've done a really good job. It's all in this foam. It's the foam that doesn't flake off and make a mess everywhere. I hate peanuts and the packaging that gets everywhere. Very nice, factory-looking CVO style grill. If you've seen the kits from Rockford, Boss, Aquatic AV, Infinity, it's going to have a very similar design. It's the same shape, but I do like the black mesh they're using, the surround that's on it, and the logo is very classy. So we're going to have a right and left specific set. I'll go ahead and I've unpackaged or took them out of the wrapper for the one side. I'll leave the other side in its package, in its plastic. As you see, you're going to get a full set, left and right grills. Wiring is going to be sold separate. If you buy this package just by that part number, it's not going to come with the wiring. We are going to offer it in a bundle. We call it a stage add-on. So if you've already got the radio and front speakers, and you're wanting to add this on our stage add-on, this would be a stage, and we call it a stage 2 when it comes with 2 speakers, rear speaker add-on from Precision Power. When you buy that, we're going to include the backbone harness and the quick disconnect harnesses needed to run into your lids. But let's check out this template. Very nice template, cut out for the handle. That matters because some of them require you to remove the handle and the screw before the template will go down. This one does not. That means you're not going to forget to put the screw back in. You're not going to get halfway done and start over. Tape off the top of your lid. This is going to fit right on top. We just tape it so nothing gets scratched. Once you've got it on top, it's going to come with a couple screws that go through these 2 holes and secure it to the lid. You're going to pre-drill a hole in one of these places and you just cut and follow this template. We normally use a one-handed sawzall with a jigsaw blade. You can also use a jigsaw. There's many ways of doing it. But cut inside of this line. Once you've done that, this grill is going to fit perfectly. It's got a really nice gasket all the way around to help seal this up for water. Another nice gasket on the bottom part. So this goes in from under the lid. This goes on top. It sandwiches it in. It's very strong. 4 screws go in and you're secure. At that point, we have a perfect surface for our MAS 692 or 694 Precision Power 6x9s. They're going to fit this perfect. It would work with some other brand speakers as far as the fitment goes, or maybe slight alteration to the plastic to make your other 6x9 go in. These are available by themselves. They're available with wiring. We're also going to offer it in bundles with the 6x9s also. So at volunteeraudio.com, you'll be able to get these. Again, many of the other manufacturers make you buy their speaker with their cut kit. Precision Power didn't do that. I think it's a bad idea to probably use a lower end speaker. I think they've built a great 6x9, and I think if you get the bundle with them together, you're going to find that you've got an excellent kit that sounds amazing. But if you want to buy one of the other speakers that doesn't offer a cut kit, here we have the parts available to do that also. I'm going to get it packaged back up, but I'm going to go ahead and close out this video with you and tell you I appreciate you watching. I thank you for being on our YouTube channel. Please like the video, share it with your friends. Please subscribe. The more of you that subscribe, the more of you that watch, the more encouragement we get to continue doing videos like this. And don't forget, at the end of this series, we're going through 4 major brands that we carry, and at the end of it, we're going to launch another video that's basically a competition between each one of these brands, an apples to apples comparison. We're going to load it in our sound wall, grab our RTA out, send different amounts of power to them, different signals to them. We're going to find out what the frequency response really is and how well they hold together at high volumes, how loud they are with lower power. And we're going to tell you at the end what the differences are between all these brands so you can make an informed decision about what's best to put in your Harley. But definitely check us out at www.volunteeraudio.com. Continue to watch our YouTube channel. If you've got questions, you can definitely comment on the video and I'll quickly reply back to you. You can call us at 1-844-30-AUDIO if you have questions. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to help you answer the questions and get the best system built that we can for your Harley. Thank you for watching, and God bless.